Do you want to know how to set up a budget but don't know where to start? Well, I'm here to give you a quick rundown of how to set one up. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nam, and on this channel we typically talk about personal finance and investing. I'm by not any means a CPA or a financial advisor, but I've been a personal finance enthusiast for quite some time now. But I'm here to share with you the things I've learned and what I currently do for budgeting. Every great financial plan starts with a sound budget. If you're trying to pay off debt or save for your next vacation, your budget is your first step to making your financial goals a reality. So the average American brings in about $75,000 a year, and they use about 90% of that income. So, which means they have about 10% of money left over to spend on whatever they want. That doesn't really take into account with other debts, loans, or credit cards that they may have. So that 10% left over is really not the amount of money that people are actually saving. And the average American has about $38,000 in debt. So what does that really tell you? As Americans, we're broke. So make sure you guys stay to the end of the video. I have some bonus content in case if you guys want to figure out what you want to do with that leftover money. Now you have a background of why you need a budget. I'm gonna give you 4 easy steps to get you where you want to go. Step 1, determine your income. This is any after-tax pay, which may include your regular pay from your day job, any dividends from any type of investments, any side hustle income, anything that you get on a regular basis that you can count on as a source of income. So knowing this number is key, since this is the amount of money that you have every month, and if you don't ever go under this amount of money, you will never have debt. So for example, maybe you make $1,500 every 2 weeks. Every month you make $3,000. So right there, your income is $3,000 per month. Easy enough, right? All right, step 2, calculate your expenses. You need to figure out how much money are you actually spending every month. So there are 2 types of expenses. There's fixed expenses and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are things that you can expect to be the same every single month. So your rent or mortgage, your car payment, your insurance, your gym membership, your Netflix, all of this costs the same every single month. The second type of expenses are variable expenses. Variable expenses may be things that fluctuate month to month. Variable expenses include things like groceries, gas, random things you get at Costco, toiletries, clothes, just things that you can't really pinpoint the exact number every month, but you kind of have an average of what you may spend that month. So if you don't really know what are your variable expenses, I would recommend looking back at your bank statements in the past 3 to 6 months to see what is your average spending habits per month. That can give you a better picture of how much money are you actually spending per month. So once you figure out what's your average for the past 3 to 6 months, add about 10 to 15% of that just to give you a baseline of how much money to expect to put aside for your budget. So say you spend about $2,000 in the past 3 months. You add 10% of that, which is $200, so you should expect to spend around $2,200 per month on expenses. So for example, you spend about $1,200 for rent, $200 for food, $400 for car and your car insurance, $200 in student loans, $200 for miscellaneous items like toiletries, cleaning supplies, clothes, things that you really don't buy that often. All right, step 3, figure out the difference between the two. So you make $3,000 a month and you spend around $2,200 a month. You subtract the two, the difference is $800 a month. Easy enough, right? So now you have $800 left per month that you can either save or pay down debt. All right, step 4. All right, this is gonna be the most difficult part of trying to set up a budget, but this is the only part that actually brings everything together. This is where you actually track your spending habits. When I plan a budget, I typically like to have a $0 budget, which basically means that you give every dollar a job. You want to know where every dollar is going, whether it's going towards your food expenses, student loan payments, or basically just going to savings. You know exactly where your dollar is going. Having to input your expenses makes you think twice from actually splurging. And it's extremely satisfying and motivating just to know exactly where your money is going, so you're one step closer to your goals. So there's a couple of ways that you can actually track your expenses. You can do it the old school way, just pen and paper. You could have an Excel spreadsheet, or you could use apps, what I typically use. There's 2 very popular apps such as Mint and the EveryDollar app. I personally use the EveryDollar app. It's free, it's easy, you just kind of input everything, you drag and move things around if you like, and it's pretty simple. So setting up your budget, don't expect it to be exactly perfect the first time. You may overspend or underspend or overestimate of how much you may spend every month. Just try to play by ear and just try to keep it as close to the number that you're expecting it to be every month. So once you kind of realize spending more money, or I have to spend more money, then you kind of just adjust accordingly. Is there any other type of budgeting apps you guys like to use? If so, put it in the comments below and share them with us so we could all spread the love. All right, so I got a budget now. What do I do with that leftover money. Should I save? Should I invest? Or should I pay down debt? Me personally, I followed Dave Ramsey's baby steps. So I suggest you guys pick up the book Toting Money Makeover. I'll put the link below if you guys are interested. It's an excellent book to getting your personal finance together. But I do have a disclaimer though. Dave, he is a Christian and he also promotes Christianity in his books, and there's a lot of biblical terms. Aside from that, the content is golden. So if you guys are not sure of who Dave Ramsey is,
when you give your income to someone else, you don't have it anymore. Is this hard?
he's kind of like this big personal finance guru, but he's just been in the game for such a long time, and he helped millions and millions of people of paying down debt and just accumulating wealth. So personally, with the money left over, I would just follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps. So the first step is to basically save $1,000 just in case of emergencies, if your cars break down or something unfortunate happens, so you don't have to scramble all around just to try to come up with $1,000. About 70% of Americans can't even come up with $500 or $1,000 just to cover any unexpected events. So next, once you get that emergency fund going, I would personally pay down any high interest debt. Dave Ramsey, he suggests paying down all debt besides your mortgage. But for me, I consider anything that's greater than 6%. If you have credit cards, any type of school loans, personal loans, I would suggest paying those down first before you start investing or saving your money. The reason why I say pay off any type of debts that are more than 6%, because you have a better chance of getting a return on your money elsewhere. Again, this is my personal opinion. Depending on your risk tolerance, you can pay off your debt if you get that peace of mind. But if you want to follow Dave Ramsey, he recommends just paying down all debts.
You either pay her off in full or you die.
So after that, it's time to save up a real emergency fund. This is around 3 to 6 months of expenses. If you get injured or there's death in the family, you have that 3 to 6 months of just buffer in case of something happens. So in case of a real emergency does happen, it'll be an inconvenience instead of a real panic. So once you do that, you want to start putting more money into your retirement savings, up to 15%. And then if you have any kids or expecting kids, you can start saving up money for your kids' college. Me personally, I don't have any kids, so I'm not even worrying about that part. Next, pay down your house if you have a mortgage. So with all that extra money left over, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can start a business, invest, you could go on your dream vacation. Me personally, I would just try to reinvest that money into some sort of asset, because in the long run, you want your money to work for you instead of you working for your money. And there you have it. So in this video, I talked to you about why you need a budget, how to set one up, and what to do with your money after you set up a budget. So if you like videos like this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.